Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome back to another episode of Vintage Story here on the Aura Fury server. Thank you very much for joining me today and continuing to show your support for the series. If you do enjoy this episode, please leave a like and a comment, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. As you can see down in my inventory and also in here, I've been collecting up a new load of maple wood. But I thought for the very beginning of today's episode, we would try something a little bit different. I'm going to head over into my creative world, so if we actually disconnect from the server, wait for it to become daytime in the server, and we will head over to my creative world and you can see some of the stuff that I've been building on. Now this is a representation of what this village that we're building up in survival could become. I've been doing a lot of work on this before I joined the server for a couple of weeks or so. Just trying to work out the build style and get some of the kind of initial builds sorted in my head. And what I really want to show you is the path that we've been working on. This idea of a path which is feathered with mainly path blocks, but also with some muddy gravel, some conglomerate gravel, cob. We've got dark brick. We've got over here we've got some limestone gravel. We've got granite gravel. And we've also got the dark mud bricks and dark mud brick slabs as well. It's dark here, we'll actually make it daytime. I've got a macro to turn all the weather and stuff off and turn it into day. And so you can see this is what it's going to look like. And some of the buildings around here, some of the other little decorations I've got in mind as well. Some of the fields around. And yeah, this is essentially what it's going to look like. But what I want to talk you through, we've got church gravel as well here. What I want to talk you through today, just at the beginning here, is the way to actually make something like this. This kind of feathered texture here on the pathway. And there's a few different ways of doing it. So I've got a little bit worked out here just to show you. This is actually a technique I learnt from Mumbo Jumbo. Who is quite a famous Minecraft YouTuber, plays on Hermitcraft server, does a lot of redstone stuff. If you haven't looked at his videos before, highly recommend it. But this is his kind of famed method for creating feathered effects. And there's 4 different ways I want to show you of actually creating this. The first way, we've got stone path, we have cob, we have dark mud brick, we have dark mud brick slab, we have muddy gravel, we have chert gravel, we have claystone gravel, limestone gravel, conglomerate gravel, and granite gravel. Now I've got one of these mice. I don't know if you can hear it. It's got a wheel on it, which is got a catch. If I press this button, then it allows me to scroll down with the mouse button, with the mouse wheel, really fast. And if we do that, it will scroll through the various different blocks, and so when we place stuff down, it will give us a completely random block. And so this is his method for basically creating feathered textures with various different blocks. Have I? Yes. Just got I need a mud brick. There we go. Oops. There we go. Now it's a little bit awkward to do sometimes because you need to keep, the faster it goes, the more random it is. But you can see this creates a very random effect. But this might not be the best for everything because you might want some weighting. And so if we just fill the rest of this in, and we can see what it comes out as. There we go. Okay, and so now we would want to come back through and say this one and this one needs to be on the top there. Now we could put them down on the base level here as well, but in this game, because of the awkward way that slabs work, I don't think this would be very good. It's okay in Minecraft because you don't have that kind of horrible jerkiness between going up and down a slab, but in this it is definitely best to put them up onto the top. So you just go around like that. Okay, and so there is the first type of path I wanted to show you. If we get rid of all of these in my hotbar, so this is very random, and there's essentially an equal distribution. So the second way would be, because we want a lot more path block than anything around the edge, and then this is just basically feathering in the center. The second way would be to create a weighting, and so you do that by saying if we have say 4 slots for path, we'll have 2 slots for cob, and we'll have some claystone, some conglomerate, and some limestone. No, some muddy gravel. Okay, and so now we've got a 40% of our bar is stone path, 20% of it is cob, and then 10% each of dark mud brick, muddy gravel, claystone gravel, and conglomerate gravel. And so now if we come back in, we can see that this will end up creating a lot more weighting towards the path block and the cob, but it still won't be probably exactly as we want it. And as soon as it slows down, we need to increase it again. And of course, the faster you place as well, the more random it is, or the more randomization you get out of it. Okay, and so there is, you can see it's a lot more stone path now, a decent amount of cob, and then just random placements of the muddy gravel, claystone gravel, and conglomerate gravel there. And so that's much more close to some of the stuff we have over here. Now, the third way I want to show you is, again, if we just get all of this out of the hotbar. I don't know if you can hear the fireworks going off outside. It is bonfire night in the UK at the moment. So if we just take the ones that we want to feather with, we know that, and I'll take that off now so that we've just got an easy way to scroll through. Click the button so that it doesn't just scroll like this. There you go. And so we want the cob. Again, I'm going to grab the claystone, the limestone, and the conglomerate, and the muddy gravel. And so in this one over here, I'm going to place these in first of all. So we want little bits like this, and this is going to be a lot more ordered. And so we can place these in, we can place some cob down. I want a decent amount of cob around. And so you're just basically placing this in. We'll grab a bit of dark mud brick and we'll place that down. And then, once you've got a decent pattern like that, then you can come in with the stone path and just put all of this stone path back in. And the nice thing about this is you can kind of use this with just a budget amount of materials. So if you only have a few different conglomerate and a few different limestone, then this is much easier to do this with, especially if you've got a lot of stone path. And this, of course, you can say that in areas you want a lot less gravel and a lot more stone path, or a lot more gravel and a lot less stone path. And so there is that one. And so we've got a very, very sparse amount of stuff in the centre with a lot of stone path around it. And then the last way, as you would probably expect, is just to put all of the stone path down first of all. So you've got a huge area of stone path, and then just take random bits out, just in its easiest and creative. You can just do it like this. But you can just dig out random blocks like that, and then you can place in some various different blocks around. Like that one. Go for this. A few of these, some cob there. And the nice way about doing this is that now with all of these, you can just come back in and edit it manually. So you can think this is far too sparse at the moment, and it's a little bit spread out. It just looks like pock marks in the stone path. There's probably not enough, there was no muddy gravel in it at all, so we can come back through and add some of that. We want some more different variations in the colours here. We want a little bit more cob there, and maybe even adding in a little bit of soil as well in some places like that. So you can come in and create your own textures after doing any of these techniques. So you can see this is with all 10 of these different textures just being randomized in a pattern. This is with weighting. This is probably one of my favorite ways, but it does mean you need a lot of resources to be able to even start doing this, because you need to be able to fill your hotbar, preferably with full stacks, to be able to go around and do this. This is a lot better if you have very scarce resources, so just putting down all the blocks first and then filling it in with the path blocks around. And then this, if you have a lot of path blocks, then you can fill everything in with path blocks first and then just take out various different blocks and fill them in with other stuff. And just before we leave the creative world here, I wanted to show you this is the size of the build that we have currently in our survival world. And this is the 15 by 15. It's just changed around a little bit in here. I've added a couple of entrances out into some farmyard fields there. But just to show you the size and scale of some of the other builds that I've done. This, I believe, is a 33 by 33. So this is actually a little bit smaller than the next one I'm thinking about building. And you can see just the huge scale of this inside. But this is by no means the biggest one that I've built in creative mode here. If we head across this way, past the field, then we can see this building here is enormous. And I love this. This is what I would call, if I was doing a Viking build, I'd call it the Bragi Halla or the Mead Hall. It's basically the big communal space of the village where a lot of games would take place, a lot of meetings, and inside it looks incredible. It looks a bit like a circus tent, I suppose, with the thatch on the roof and the poles here. But there is so much space in here, it would be impossible to light this up fully if we didn't have hidden lighting. So I'm going to be having a look at some hidden lighting effects as well. But just to show you a couple of the ideas that we've got for builds coming up later in the series. So we're now back on the server and I'm heading across to Nathan's because I went and took a load of new skeps over to his beehive and placed them down next to the beehive, and that was a couple of days ago in game. So they should have all now been populated. So I'm going to go over there now. I haven't actually checked them yet, so I want to go over and check them, see how they're doing. See if I can bring any back. So they are just over this side to the south of the base. I don't know where he is at the moment. He is online, somewhere around here. Not too sure where. But we can see up the top there, that is where I put one of them over here, but he has obviously put a load in as well. So I'm not going to take any from up here. I'm just going to take the ones I put down up here. And yeah, they look like they are all okay. I'm going to leave this one because that one was there anyway. So we're going to take these off our basket bar here. And now we should be able to come over to number 10 here. And I think just grab this. Yep. We'll grab that one. We'll grab that one. And we'll grab that one. And we'll come back for this last one here. And now we can head back to home. I need to grab a load more cattails to get some more skeps so we can actually populate more from these. These are going to be our little seeds to make sure that we have enough for the future. So these ones will not be broken. But we do now have some bees. And I've already set up a little area outside our new little building over there, which is going to be our temporary bee storage until we get a chandlery set up. And I've also done a little bit of vegetable farming over there. We've got our first little harvest done, but hardly got anything from it. But I'll show you that now. So up here, I've fenced all of this area off. We've got a little bit of farmland here. This is all going to have to move though because yeah, I didn't realise quite how close I was putting it, and as soon as I started putting the thatch on, I realised that all of this is going to have to move. But not to worry for now, that'll be fine. And I've made this place over here just with a load of flowers around, and we're going to start in this corner and just place these skeps onto these fence posts. Reason why you put them onto the fence posts is because a fence is classed as being 2 blocks high, so raccoons can't come and eat them. If any raccoons get into this field, it is all blocked off, but I mean, hares can spawn here. I assume raccoons can spawn here as well, but I haven't really seen any hares around this field at all, so I think we'll be fairly safe for now. I'll go and grab the other skep later on, but I think I want to lay out the foundations for some more buildings around here and try and get an area where this where the little town square type thing we were looking at in the creative world is going to go. So I think I want the first of these new big buildings to be about here, and so this will be the front of it, with a little bit sticking out the front as a porchway, as we have done on these ones. So I've got the other camera account just so I can show you from above here what's going on here, and hopefully as we start building this circle, things will actually start to come alive on that screen as well. Yep, good. So we have, there's 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 9 for the start of it. I don't know how wide this is going to go though. This might be in completely wrong place, and I might have to push it over, back over across this way a little bit, but we shall see. So the next one is 1, 2, 3, and then we have 2, and then 1, and then 2, and then a 1. And so that is the first bit of a curve there. We'll do the bit of a curve on this side, and then we'll be able to get a good idea of what's going on. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, let's just fix this block here. Put that in the wrong way. There we go. So yeah, I think that looks okay looking at it on the camera account. So let's bring it around this way as well. So we want 2, and then 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3. No, not that one. And then 2. Get more wood out. And then 1, 2, and 1. And then it'll be a 2. And then 1. And then 2. And then 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then take this block out. And bring you back down here so you can see what I'm doing. And then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. 2, and 1. Now, I can't remember over here. Did I actually... I might have just done this wrong. 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. I haven't put that other 1 block in, and then I've just gone straight into the 2s. Okay, that's fine. And so this is coming back down the other way now. So 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's make sure that's right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yep. And so now this should just be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then the 1. Okay. So that should be everything we need to do. So let's come over now and have a look at this back on the camera account. And actually, yeah, that's not too bad. That hasn't come over this way as far as I worried that it would do. And I think once we've got everything in on this, then it'll be okay. So now we just need to raise the walls up, and I also need to put the bit in at the front. So let's come back down to here. This is a 9 across on here. So I want to pull this in a little bit. And I think I want to go for a 7 across here. And that'll be pulled out by, I think it'll have to be 4 on this. So we go 1, 2, 3 and 4. Just to keep it in proportion with the rest of the build. And there is my axe just gone. I'll have to get a new one of those, because I need to pull these out. Yeah, I'll get a new axe and pull those out. So yeah, I just need to lift the walls up on this now. But this is all of the maple wood I have at the moment. I need to plant a load more trees, and we'll actually do that now as well, so that I've got that going before I forget it. So if we come over to here, we have 37 more maple saplings, which I've just been planting them on this hill over here. So we'll just go planting these around. I find it easiest just to strafe along. It gives you a bit of a better angle when you're placing stuff in front of you. And then come back down the other way. Still got loads left. I don't want them right next to each other, but again, I don't want them too far away from each other as well. I find it easiest to just try and do it on the terraces here. And then we've got a bit more on the top of this rise. A little bit more down in the valley here. And there we go. Right, so I'll let those grow up over the next few days. But yeah, I think I need to start building up the walls on this thing now. Well, I put the walls up on this thing and I got carried away and started putting the roof on as well. So I thought I'd bring you back in as it's coming back up to daytime here. And let you see the progress on this thing. I haven't really done much inside it at the moment, apart from clear out some of the grass to make some of this hay. But it is going to take a very long time to get this on, and a huge amount of hay grass as well. But we're getting there. You know, it's going okay. But it's just a very, very long, slow process to be able to get this thatch roof on. And I haven't used as much as I thought I would so far. We've done some of the worst bits of it, and each layer from now on actually gets less and less and less hay grass that you need as you head on up to the top, just about to run off the edge there. But of course it gets a bit awkwarder because you're pretty high up, so if you fall off you start injuring yourself. And I think I'm at the point now, yep, where I would actually start taking damage. So it's just a matter of keeping on and getting this on. I don't think I'm going to do it all now, because I want to do a little bit more during the daytime. It's getting up to the time now where I can actually take that off the bar. There we go, and that will save me some hunger as well. But I'm getting to the point now where I really need to start thinking about food. About farming and getting some proper farm set up. So I want to have a look at where I want to set up a decent sized farm around the area and start setting that up, I think. So I'll just do this a little bit around to there, and then that will be it. So looking at the map here, I think that if we have a farm coming, if we fence off a large area around here, basically, I think this area over here might be really quite good for some different farms. Obviously, this little bit here is not going to do at all. I've already let it grow over a bit and stuff because I definitely do not want to keep it there. The skeps can stay here for now, however these can be moved around as and where we need them, so that'll be fairly easy. But I think this might actually be quite good as a big storage area basically, and we'll have areas out to the farms and also areas out to some like the chandlery at the back that kind of thing there. I think we have a hello. Primentine, hello. You are on camera and you don't even know it. Hello. Smile. You're on camera. So yes, that is what we're going to do over there. But I do want to get some of this pathland set in, which we will do. I do need to get a new shovel because I don't have much left on here. But I think we are going to put in a new direction for this path so that we can start taking these old path blocks out. And I want this to go pretty much straight down from here. And then we'll want it to... Well, actually, hang on. Do I need to do that? I don't actually think that's the best idea. Because we put that building there, I think it would actually be better to start the path, or the square bit, around here. So we'll have a new path coming into this building here. So let's go from here. And we'll just dig out a load of this around to here. And this is the kind of way that I like to build that area in the centre. I like to think about where people are actually going to walk. So a few episodes ago we were talking about the 3 different aspects of building. So you've got the build itself, you've got the landscaping around it, and then you've got the human aspect. And the human aspect is this, is how people would actually walk around the area. And so, and I think I brought this in a little bit too far really. It should be from about here. So we'll dig this out as well. Just round about. Now in this place also, I want to have my paths being 3 wide most of the time. Let's dig that out. Yeah, and I think that will be enough space to be able to fill all of this in with path blocks. We come over here and grab some path blocks from here. I did a bit of a trade with Aladark to get some muddy gravel as well. So we do have some of that, which is nice. So I can actually start feathering this path with at least some muddy gravel. So if we just fill this in with path blocks and we'll see how it looks. Don't want that one. Takes a while to break these with your hands. There we go. So that takes us right up to the door of this. I will probably want it a couple further in. In fact, yes, I will. So we'll up these ones as well. Place in. They bounce up the ground. Nice. Okay, so we have this coming in from here now into here. And then we would also have a path going over to this house over here. And so we'll cut this off here. And then we will head off in this direction. And then essentially what will be taken out is all the bit in the centre of it. And then that will be feathered. Okay, so there is the path added in, but it looks a little bit janky in a couple of places there, but that's okay, we can sort that out. Let's have a look at the camera account now overhead, and if we come over to here, I can actually control it. And we can see, we come around. That's not looking too bad. We've got a small area in the centre there. I'd quite like that to be a lot bigger eventually, so we'll have to spread it out over this way. And maybe up to that lake, and we'll make a little pond, and we'll make a little bit out of that pond there, drag it out a little bit, change the shape of it. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. I quite like that for now. But yeah, it does look a little bit janky in places, so I'll just have to go through and make sure that it's okay. Anyway, the place where I was thinking of, let's just have a look over here. What's this? Oh, that's a cave down. That's another one. I don't think Nathan actually went down that cave. in his last episode, so I'll have to go down and have a look in that one. Might do that next episode. Yeah, we've got a couple of caves down here, which Nathan has already gone down. I said he could. And there's pretty much nothing down there. So a lot of this area back here is where I'm thinking about for some farmland. Might have to even it out a little bit, but I quite like it being varied and different heights and stuff like that. I don't want everything being on the same level. That's why I've raised that building up over there. Let's come back to the other account now. There we go. Yeah, so this building is raised up, even though the entrance to it might actually be down on this level, but the ground around it I definitely want being up here. How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I can do that. That's good. I was just making sure because otherwise I would actually have to take this ground down, because then the roof wouldn't actually go on it properly. But that is all for a future episode. Next episode, I'm thinking about doing some farming, trying to get something like that set up. But I think the first step in doing some farming is actually getting the seeds. So we might have to do a bit of exploration first, just to try and go out and find some seeds in the wilderness. So look forward to that. Anyway, I think that is all we're going to do for today. We've done a bit today, not a huge amount, not as much as I thought we would, but it did take a long time to get this all set up there. And doing that stuff in creative, but I think was hopefully quite good for you lot as well. Shows you a lot of my thought processes and what I'm going through when I'm thinking about all of this stuff. So, thank you very much for joining me today. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I will. See you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.